Dude in the green hat was you.
Oh no.
He's got a beard and everything. About to go up to him. Like when I was.
How you feel this morning?
Tired. No food. No food until we land.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your eyes are watery, bro. You look like you're in a dark place right now.
While a great physique feels out of reach to many, it's really not impossible. And it's not that crazy once you understand the skills needed to build that physique. Sure, you need a diet plan, you need to follow a workout, you need to get your steps, and there's some level of discipline you do have to learn. But if you're looking to get that bicep vein, or you want that six pack, or whatever it is that physique fitness goal it takes, whatever it is that you're after, you can accomplish it, and you honestly don't have to be that crazy about it. Getting lean takes some resilience, but at the end of the day, it's just following a good plan 80% of the time. 80% of the time you follow that plan, you're actually going to get the results. A lot of people get really beat up about one night out with their friends, one missed workout, but those little small details aren't going to derail you as much as you thought. And really, it's going to help you find kind of that healthy fitness life balance that we're all looking for. You can be shredded, you can have a six pack, and you can also enjoy life. It doesn't have to be an all-consuming goal. Unless, of course, you want to enter the next frontier. If you want to do a bodybuilding show, literally forget everything I just said. You have full permission to beat yourself up for every little missed meal, missed macro, missed workout, missed walk. All of those things become the most important thing if you're doing a bodybuilding show. One day of cardio not done, too little sodium on peak week, that's the difference between you winning and showing off your great physique to everyone who's there versus you sitting on the sideline watching someone else show off their hard work and them getting that first place trophy instead of you, or them getting first call outs while you're just standing on the sideline being like, what happened? This isn't a world for the weak. If you step into bodybuilding, you're asking for yourself to be critiqued for how you look. They say comparison kills. Well, comparison's how you win in bodybuilding. But this is also why bodybuilding has this strange allure to it. Putting yourself through something so physically and mentally challenging where you realize you're not just a person who can do 80% of the plan, but you can actually complete the plan to 100% of the way it was supposed to be. Over the last 12 weeks, I've done this. I competed in the Summer Shredding Championship hosted by Alphalands and Christian Guzman. And to get to that point, I measured every gram of food I ate. I trained, I walked, I posed, I slept, I did all of the things, all with the singular intention of competition. 12 weeks of commitment and discipline, all leading to one moment on the stage. These are the three things I learned prepping for the Summer Shredding Championship.
I heard Houston's nice this time of year, so I'll see you on the other side.
My time it is now. Nobody stops me taking the crown. I did a lot. They changing the style to do what I did. They making me proud. I'm young and I'm free. I got a lot to achieve.
Casey is getting me show ready, the tan, so that I'm not washed out in the lights. It's a very intimate moment between me and Casey.
Better believe.
Principle number one, the details matter. Every gram, ounce, every pound matters. This starts with food more than anything else. During prep, you have to measure and weigh everything you eat. There's not a single meal you get to have that does not touch your food scale. Your food scale becomes your best friend. It is the key that gets you into heaven, which is getting to eat your meals. And now these meals definitely should not be Gordon Ramsay approved. What I mean by that is that you want your food to be plain, simple, and nutrient dense. We're not looking at creating some sort of fancy concoction that's going to scratch that itch for sweet or savory. We want simple and we want effective. This is going to allow yourself to feel satiated and full even though you're in a calorie deficit. The last thing you want is to eat a bowl of something super delicious or make homemade pizzas, which I did. I'm not saying this is like I did it perfect. I did not do this prep perfect. But when you're doing some of these things where you're like creating more tasty food, it actually just triggers this response where it becomes really hard to not want to binge eat everything in your fridge, everything in your cupboards. And so keep it simple, keep it effective, keep it nutrient dense. Some of my go-tos this prep were things like tuna melts, cream of rice, fried rice, really, really simple. Honestly, I ate rice with every single meal. One, because I do love rice. Two, it's a very clean carb. And three, rice makes you feel more full. It takes up space in your stomach. And being in a calorie deficit, this is super important. We're gonna go get some fast burning carbs. So some white rice, some cereal, lots of cereal. It's gonna fill me up and I'm gonna get... The details also matter a ton in your training. When you're training through prep, you have to understand the principles of just recovery and understanding that when you're in a calorie deficit for so long, you cannot sustain the same amount of intensity at the end as you can at the start. And what I mean by that is going into prep, being full of food, full of carbohydrates, it was really easy for me to get my 3 to 4 working sets. But as my calories dropped and it became harder to recover from my workouts, the amount of volume and intensity had to drop also in my workouts. So by the time I got to 2 to 3 weeks out from my show, I was only doing about 2 working sets per movement per day, simply because I could not recover enough in order for me to push more volume and more working sets. You're honestly doing more harm than good trying to increase intensity during prep versus intensity should move into a maintenance phase, if not lower even further below maintenance, simply because recovery is more important than training. You need to be able to feel good or you're not going to be able to bring your best when it comes time to compete. Same thing goes for cardio. Some people have this idea that they're just gonna really ramp up their cardio and do hours and hours of cardio every single week in hopes of getting stage ready. And to a point that could work. But again, we have to remember to manage stress load and recovery. So if you are doing too much cardio, it's actually doing more harm than good. We want to do just enough cardio to be in a caloric deficit, but no more than that where your body starts trying to hang on to fat because it's panicking and cortisol levels are too high. The details matter in your training, in your food, in your workout. Next comes check-ins. I would check in with my coach every single week and sometimes daily, depending on what stage of prep we were in. I would weigh myself first thing in the morning every single day and report that number to him. And then I'd also turn in photos every single week to make sure body composition was changing at the right rate. And a lot of this is paying attention again to the details. Am I losing the right amount of weight at the right amount of time? We can't be in too much of a deficit where we start becoming catabolic and losing too much muscle. We also can't be too slow into this deficit where we're not ready for the stage. There's a really fine balance that each individual has to find with their coach on how quickly they should be losing weight, how quickly they should be losing fat to make sure they can bring their best package when it's time to step out on stage and show that package. I think one of the cool things coming out of this prep for myself and even for others is this idea of details mattering. Whether you have a business goal or a fitness goal or a family goal, understanding that while the big picture is great, that 80% is great, but if you really want to take things to the next level, and you want to reach that unattainable goal and make it attainable, if you focus on the details, that can help take things to a level that is almost unreal and is almost godlike. This level of excellence that not very many people ever get to in their life. But if you're willing to look at the details and you're willing to focus more on those small things, that's how you bring your absolute best. Now, I will say, this intense focus is super difficult sometimes, and it feels like you are trying to become something that's not real. You're trying to become something that is so momentary. The reality is, it is momentary and it's not sustainable. That level of paying attention to detail and that level of focus is really good over a short-term period of time, but it's not great over the long period of time. There needs to be more balance. When it comes to bodybuilding, it's months of extreme detail just to step out on stage literally for a few minutes to look the best you've ever looked for a couple days, and then a few days after that, it's all gone. And this is really weird in bodybuilding because getting stage ready is such a momentary thing. That extreme amount of attention to detail to your physique, you step out for a few days looking like an absolute god, but then once you go back to more sustainable life, you kind of just become that normal version of yourself again. And this can really mess with your head if you're not ready for it, which leads me to my second point. Mental health is key. This prep was actually really difficult for me. There are many mornings I would wake up, I'd look at myself in the mirror, and I didn't like how I looked. It's really strange because I was becoming leaner every day. My physique was objectively becoming more impressive, but every time I saw myself, I thought I wasn't even close to where I should be. This is a real danger in bodybuilding, especially with social media and always having these physiques just thrown in your face, or even being at the gym seeing some of these guys. It really changes how you see yourself. No one is immune to this. And I'm a very secure person, and I know that I have a high level physique. I mean, I placed second in this show, and it was a very competitive show, the most competitive show I've ever competed in. But in this last prep, I was absolutely starting to crack. So just know this, you need to be able to celebrate yourself, especially during prep. It's easy in the bodybuilding world to feel inadequate, but be proud of the discipline. Be proud of your check-ins. Be proud of the workouts that you get done and completed and you gave your best effort. Be proud of your inputs and do your best to stay neutral and stay detached from the outputs. And this goes for any project that you pursue. The truth is that when you take on work that is deeply meaningful for you, or if there's a clear winner and loser, it becomes incredibly personal and you become very detached to the outcomes. It's going to affect your mental health at some level, and it's very hard to stay completely neutral. But at the end of the day, try your best to detach yourself from some of the things that you can't control and focus on the things that you can control. Focusing on the things that you actually can control is going to take away a lot of that stress and make you feel like you can put your best foot forward every day. And as you delve into the details and you really focus on these big dreams and push things to the next level, you also have to make it your job to keep your mental health strong. Treat your well-being like your muscles. Rest, recover, take care of your mental health, take care of your heart health just as much as you take care of your physical health. This leads me to my final principle, which is enjoy the show. There's something wonderful about giving yourself a challenge and a new project. In fact, I tell my clients that when they kind of lose the motivation or like that drive for their health and fitness, to try to give themselves something to look forward to or something to work towards. Whether that's a 5K, a marathon, hiking a mountain, or performing in some sort of Tough Mudder or something like that, or a triathlon, or if it's just a strength goal. But having some type of goal, having something that you're working towards can really give you that motivation when things get tough. For me, it was competing in the Summer Shredding Championship. Competing in that show, it gave me the motivation to pursue things at a higher level from what I was already doing. 12 weeks of prep, I arrived in Houston at Alphaland, and I was honestly so excited because of the amount of effort I put in to this prep to step out on this stage. And this is what all the hard work was for. Now I get to sit in the moment. This was my 4th show, and I can say that without a doubt, it was my favorite show and the best show that I've ever competed at. Really proud of what I was able to accomplish. Like stepping on that stage with some of the best athletes I've ever seen and being able to bring an incredibly competitive physique, being able to qualify for the next show, the national level, just felt amazing. And it's crazy to me is that I see so many people on show day or in different areas when it's like, the days arrive for your goal to be completed and you're so stressed. And in like the bodybuilding world, I'm seeing these guys just like sweating backstage or like talking about food that they're not even present in the moment, and they're missing what they came here for. The hard work is done. Now is the moment to step out on stage and just show everyone how great you are. So embrace the new adventures, embrace the challenges, and when the moment comes, enjoy the show. I do have to shout out Christian Guzman and Alphaland and Alpha Elite. Like I said before, this show is absolutely incredible. By far the best show I've ever been a part of. Working out at Alphaland, hanging out with the other competitors and the other influencers there was so much fun. And I know for myself that I was challenged and really pushed by seeing these other people pursuing their dreams and wanting to push themselves to the next level. And in this next season, I'm really excited to keep focusing on this YouTube channel and continuing to be able to bring really good information for you guys and being able to help you build the physique and build your health and fitness to the best of your ability. I love what I do and I want to be able to help as many people as I can. So I'm going to keep making these videos, keep getting information to you guys. And also if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, the link is in the description to this video. Getting a physique that is truly impressive is a skill, is something that you can learn, and I can help you learn that skill. I can help you build the plan that you need in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. It takes some discipline, it takes some habits, but you can build that physique that you desire. That's all I have for you. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. Until next time, peace.
So we're trying to get into this Airbnb. I think there's a chance that the Airbnb was a scam. So I don't know.
Getting kicked out of our Airbnb because it's sketchy and the guy who's renting it out isn't even on the apartment. And so management towed our car and kicked us out. So now we're problem solving and trying to get to the bottom of this. A day in the life.
Welcome to Houston.